like to start by saying that all I know about my roommate is that she is a young lady in her 20s who works from home at late night hours, sleeps in the daytime, and is a very private person who keeps to herself. The house I moved into was advertised on Craigslist as having an available room for rent in a 3-bedroom house, with the only rule being that I must respect my roommate's peace and privacy at all times because of her work. I am a single man in my 30s, and I myself work full-time in an office some 30 miles away from the house in the daytime, and am usually asleep at the late time she works. So I really didn't think anything of it. It seemed to work out all right for me. I arrived and met the landlord. He lives elsewhere, and he gave me a brief tour of the house. I was immediately impressed with it. A 2-story, older model home in a decent neighborhood, relatively well maintained, and with shockingly cheap rent. 3-bedroom, 2-bath home. My roommate occupying the master bedroom, which includes its own private bathroom, and located upstairs at the end of the hallway, next to an unused room. During the walkthrough, my landlord suggested that I take the bottom floor bedroom because it is larger than the one upstairs. It's next to the home's standalone bathroom, and I won't have to share a wall with another person, which increases the likelihood that I would respect the one and only rule of residing here: don't disturb my roommate. Made sense to me. During the walkthrough, I could tell my landlord was anxious to rent the room. He had mentioned a woman lived here for 2 months, but suddenly terminated her lease without a notice before moving out, which really disappointed him. I know there are questions people usually ask about a privately owned place before they move in, and in retrospect, I can think of a few big ones. But I have awful credit and have an eviction in my rental history. Most apartments decline me during the application process, and I was excited that this man was so eager to rent with me without requesting a background check. One question I should have asked is if he had an idea why the previous renter terminated her lease. Another question that I did manage to ask was if the other resident was home, and if I would be meeting her. My landlord offered only small details like the ones I shared before about her work and quiet lifestyle, and told me her name is Elizabeth. When asking if I could meet her, my landlord replied that since it was daytime, Elizabeth was sleeping, as her work schedule keeps her up all night, a graveyard shift. Thought it was strange how quickly everything happened, but there I was signing a lease with him out of desperation. I still still know that my options of other places to live were very limited. At the time of writing this, I've only lived here for a little more than a month. I'll add that I, to this day, have never met nor have ever seen Elizabeth. There have been times, especially in the beginning, where I've texted my landlord, asking him if he's sure that Elizabeth doesn't stay with a boyfriend half the time, or if he's sure that she doesn't have some wild social life that keeps her away, if she has family nearby that she visits for periods of time, etc. I felt the need to ask him these things because though we do live on separate levels, myself on the bottom floor, her on the top, I would imagine I'd hear her down in the kitchen fixing something to eat at some point. Hear her running the shower or toilet flush. Television? Does she even have a television in her bedroom? I've lived with others before, and it's hard to avoid hearing them do normal human survival things. But I know she lives here because she moves things. I'll come home from work in the early evening, and she's nowhere to be seen, but my bedroom door is open, and there's my blanket from my bed thrown out on the sofa as if someone has taken it from my bedroom and used it. Times where I walked into the kitchen and the chairs are all moved out of place, as if several people had been sitting in them, enjoying a meal together while I was gone. I don't even use the table much, and when I do, it's obviously one chair. Right about now, you might ask, why don't you knock on her door? Show an effort to speak to her. I've done this. I've even knocked on her door late at night when she's supposed to be in there working. It gives me the creeps to hear nothing. There is no light coming from under her door. There is no sound whatsoever, and the door is always locked. I've given it a gentle nudge, and it is clearly fastened shut by a separate bolt lock on the door. Leave a note for her asking a question so she'll write a reply. I've done that. I taped it to her bedroom door where it couldn't be missed. I got back to look for it, and it's just gone. So she took it off her door, but didn't do as expected by writing a response to my question. I quit telling people in my real life about Elizabeth because their reactions always freaked me out. When I would give them these details and they would stare at me, waiting for me to tell them, I'm only joking, but I never do. I've had people joke around with me that she's a spirit, and when I don't laugh with them about it, they get very serious and uncomfortable, and the subject changes. When I lived here only a week, I had several coworkers tell me how strange it is that I still hadn't met my roommate. It's now been 6 weeks, and it would be embarrassing to say that I still haven't. So I told them weeks ago that I met her and that it's all normal and fine. Even as I write this, the feelings I actually have are rising to the top. The feelings I have every day when I am on my way home from work. Will today be the day that I finally see her? And can I laugh with her about all this shit? Or will I come home to find all the kitchen cabinet doors and drawers open again for no reason? Yeah, that's right. Makes no sense for someone to do that. Especially because nothing was even out of place, like she was searching for something. They were all just different stages of a jar. Halfway open drawer here, completely swung open cabinet door there. What has me writing this down now, just 2 weeks before the maximum amount of time that the previous renter could tolerate living in this house, is when she unexpectedly turned off the living room light when I was watching TV last night. Yeah, really. That's a new one. I was sitting downstairs where I am right now, watching television. One light was on, the only source of light besides the TV screen. The switch to it located just 2 feet behind me, and without hearing her come down the stairs, I hear the switch click. The light shuts off, almost completely enveloping me in darkness. I was so startled, I immediately popped up from the sofa and turned around to face nothing but a faintly illuminated blackness. I was able to catch a dark figure quickly moving away into the kitchen. I was horrified, and on instinct, I called out, Elizabeth? Then, that's when I heard fast footsteps running up the stairs. Not even close to where I saw the shape vanish to. I dashed for the light, turned it on, then briskly walked to my bedroom where I locked the door before staying up all night staring at it in fear. I don't know what to do. I haven't contacted my landlord yet, but I have been considering it. I don't have anywhere else to go, but a motel sounds pretty good right now. Hi, my little Calaveras. Now, if you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. If you haven't already, don't forget to like, comment, share, all the good things. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I definitely thought it was interesting to have possibly a ghost or spirit be your roommate. Um, and what's with the landlord keeping it under wraps? That's kind of weird, huh? Anyways, don't forget that I have in the description box my links to my socials, as well as my email in case you want to submit a story to possibly be read here. I would love to read some of your original stories, and I do have some of mine coming up soon. Promise, I'm getting there. We will have some Jinx Calavera originals here soon. But yeah, I am rambling, so I'm gonna go ahead and go. And remember, my little Calaveras, don't let anyone or anything steal your light. Check under your bed at night. And until next time, bye.